somebody did a little shopping at the Lowe's. Yeah, I needed to repot some stuff. So I bought some of these tray things to put on the bottom of my rolly thing to hold a couple more pots. I was out of mix. I don't use a lot of this moss, but I'm going to use a little bit for some of the plants that seem to need more water. But look what I did. I got this off the death rack. It's a different color of purple. It's a much bluer purple. Or purpley purple, not as much of a pinky purple. And I got him for $5. It comes right out. Well, he did come right out. And I notice that water just stands in there because there's no hole, which we all know isn't going to work. If another leaf just fell off. I pulled off the brown leaves that were on the big stalk, but the little stalk is losing them too. But you know, got maybe another little piece coming up here. So I think it's healthy enough looking. There are quite a few orchids, and those little miniature orchids like I had, they have those inside now. I don't know what holiday or what reason they have those. Usually like Mother's Day or something. So I expect those will be out on the death rack before long. In case you forgot mine, I'll show it to you. These have done really well since I got them. In fact, I'm not even sure if they're really going to remain miniature. I think they will because the flowers are miniature too. They're getting big. Doing really well, and those were each $3 on the death rack. What is my death rack orchid? Obviously it's a dendrobium. Just said many types available in exotic shapes and colors. How to grow: bright light, moderately moist soil, average home temperature 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. That's all it really says. But on here, let's see, it was originally $11.98. 4-inch dendrobium. I always say it with an N. Lowe's clearance, $5. She charged me $1 at first, but I told her no, they were marked $5. And speaking of healthy plants, my bulbophyllum on here, okay, it's getting late. This leaf is looking pretty good. The new one I put on here still looks a little shriveled, but this one's looking good finally. So maybe it'll make it. And I think this guy is going to be one of my repots because I think I want him on the rolly thing. And these guys are continuing to send out a few bloom spikes, not as many, but really their time should be up because this is, you know, fall and all. Still wondering what this is. This was just growing in with another orchid. It's a mystery. It reminds me of, what is it called? Is it called a Melanopsis or something like that? Kind of. So here's my rolly thing, and mostly I keep Cattleya and Oncidium on it. And see how it can hold little trays down there beyond what it can hold up here. And I think the jury's still out on this bare root vanda thing I bought. I'm trying, but I don't think it's not looking so good. I thought the roots were pretty brown. Then I look back at original picture I took of when I bought this, and I'm very proud of this because now look at all those little white roots in there. None of those were there before. And I actually think this may have some growth on the top. The lighting's not so good tonight. It's kind of late. And I'm not sure why this has leaves that are looking kind of yellow. It's I'm thinking of moving it to one of these wooden slat boxes. I'm also moving another plant to a wooden slat box. I just put that in there temporarily, but it may be less temporary than I thought. This cataseum, I don't know if I really say that right. But I think I'm moving it to a wood slat box, although it seems very comfy in its tiny little home. But I think I'll move that there. And the Vanda got moved because I decided that the Cattleya that was been there for a long time might need more sunshine. So that is my big Cattleya. Had a very, very long time. And this guy still hasn't dropped that leaf I broke. It's a little yellow. I must not have broke it all the way through or something. They're looking pretty good too. And they came out of this. See all these bromeliads? I saw this the other day, a picture of it when it was new. It was my mother-in-law died. Jerry's work sent him this, and it had the 3 white orchids blooming, and it had blooming bromeliads. And this guy, I don't know. I don't want my bulbophyllum to die. But it seems like it's either always too much water or not enough for him. He's being kind of picky, considering he lived all those years with neglect. Now that he's not getting neglect, he seems unhappy. And I wonder if this guy is gonna bloom this Christmas, because my old one always started in December. Oh wait, what do I see down here? Oh, wait a minute. What is that? Yeah, those are, it's not a bloom, but it's just as good. He looks mature enough to bloom to me. So the first one on the repot block tonight is going to be the Cataseum. It is the Frilly Doris. Still say it looks like corn. And it's in one of the small pots that has the metal running through the bottom so that you can hang it up. Which is nice, but it's a little difficult when you go to remove them. I've found they're kind of hard. So I'm thinking though I might repurpose this pot and that hanger thing for the new Dendrobium for at least now, because I don't think it wants a very big pot to start, so we'll see. All right, let's see what it looks like after. This is the before. Well, I was going to show you before and after, but my goodness, look at this guy. He was ready. Wow. But roots look pretty good. They're just really smashed in there though. Okay, he's got a tiny bit of sphagnum moss at the bottom, a little bit of bark, and then a little wet sphagnum on the top just to hold everything in. It hasn't been watered yet, so when he gets watered, I'm sure this is all going to compact over a period of time. I never would have thought that I would put a Cataseum in a wooden box, but I noticed that Orchid even does, so I said, well, heck, she's done it, let me give it a try. So if he starts to decline, I'll move him right back out into a pot. Okay, you got a good watering, so hopefully he will like returning to exactly the same place in the screen porch where he hung before. He seemed happy there, so looks pretty. Okay, my next victim is really crying out to be repotted, because look at all these roots that are coming out in this. It's got mostly like charcoal-y stuff, so look at that. And I don't think this thing holds enough water for him. Whoa! Yeah, look at all these roots. So I think he's ready to be repotted, and I am going to put him in a basket as well, because I've done well with Cattleyas not being in a pot. I know that it sounds a little dry for them, but I've done well with them. So who are we talking to here? We are talking to RLC Golden Zell and C for BC. I don't know. Anyway, here's his before. he's up against the dendrobium, so don't be confused by double types of leaves there. And let's see what he looks like after. Now I know why he was always so thirsty. He had the styrofoam. Oops, I don't know if I can get that off. Those roots down there don't look so hot. All right, let me put my gloves on and get to work. Okay, all potted up and watered, dripping. It looks nice. I'm afraid we're going to have an identity loss if I don't find a better way to get that in there, especially in a slatted box. Okay, so these roots on the top look pretty bad. Look at that one's minus its phylum or whatever that's called. There's another one. Yeah, these on the top look pretty bad, so let's go in and see how the ones inside look. Well, not as bad as I expected. The medium is really broken down. It's very dusty. Listen to the birds. So let's clean this up and get him in a little pot. Okay, surprisingly good for a death rack orchid. I have high hopes. Yeah, he's a little wobbly, but he's going to end up, I think, on the table thing over there, where I have lots of dendrobiums. Dendrobiums love my screen porch, so that's where he's probably going to end up. But for now, he's going to be quarantined because he's new. It is so hot out here. Turn the ceiling fan up, you can probably hear it. I don't know what time of night it is, probably 7:30ish. That I'm going to have to give up. As badly as I think this one needs repotted. Look at it growing over the side of the pot. I think it's going to have to wait till tomorrow. It's just too hot out here. Although, I don't know. Look at this. How black that is. That's kind of scary. But yet it's got new growth right there at the bottom. Maybe that's just, you know. Oh, that's the sheath thing. That's just the sheath thing discolored. So, okay. The pressure you get from your orchids. Anybody else feel orchid pressure? Orchid saying, oh sure, oh sure. Leave me in this pot that doesn't fit. All right, let's go pot him up and then call it a night. And this is, okay, no matter where I put this, I can't get it to come in, but it's BLC Ruth Davis Paradise. It's an LC Bethune by BLC Ocania. Not sure. All I know is it's pretty sure going to be purpley flowers because it's got a lot of purple in the leaves, and I've noticed that some of the purple flowers or darker red flowers have, well, sometimes the color will show in their leaves. So this guy looks a lot better. I soaked him down. Oh, I don't want that there. That's his new growth. It's a little hard to get in a pot. I wanted him toward the back of the pot to leave lots of room to grow. However, he has a lot of pseudobulb, you know, going like that. And so to get it all in the pot, the best I could do was get it about that far from the edge. I really wanted it like that, where these two new growths would be in the middle, but he's too big for that. In fact, I almost was thinking maybe he needs a bigger pot, but I thought, well, we'll start here because I've learned to try not to overpot them. Well, that's all for tonight. It really is this time. This guy just seemed to be begging me for help, and so I had to stop and do it. But hope you all have a nice week. This is Monday for me. I don't know what it'll be when this gets up, but the beginning, 1 day down, 4 more to go, and then I'll have the weekend to spend with my orchids.